Anthropic shipped Claude Opus 4.7 on Tuesday, and OpenAI shipped GPT-5.5 less than 48 hours later. Both releases emphasize SWE-Bench Verified scores, and both reset the pricing structure for frontier coding models. The frontier is now defined by agentic coding performance and per-token economics. Anthropic reports 79.4% on SWE-Bench Verified for Opus 4.7. OpenAI reports 78.1% for GPT 5.5 and ships it natively on AWS Bedrock for the first time. Opus 4.7 descends from a rapid release cadence. Anthropic released Opus 4.5 in late September, replacing the original Opus 4 from May. Opus 4.5 achieved 74.5% on SWE-Bench Verified and introduced extended thinking mode, which 4.7 now inherits by default. The 3-month interval reflects Anthropic's standard release cycle. GPT 5.5 follows GPT 5, which launched in August with a 74.9% SWE-Bench Verified score and a unified router that selects between fast and deep reasoning per query. According to Sam Altman's post on X, GPT 5.5 retains that router but retrains the coding policy from scratch on a new agent trajectory dataset. OpenAI positioned GPT 5.5 as the first OpenAI model arriving day one on AWS Bedrock alongside Azure, ending the Azure exclusive distribution window that has defined OpenAI since 2023. This distribution shift bears directly on what each company shipped this week. Opus 4.7's specification sheet follows. Opus 4.7 ships with a 500,000 token context window, up from 200,000 on Opus 4.5. Output remains capped at 64,000 tokens. Pricing holds at $15 per million input tokens and $75 per million output tokens, unchanged from 4.5. The model scores 79.4% on SWE-Bench Verified, 88.2% on Aider Polyglot, and 92.0% on MMLU Pro. Tool use latency drops 22% versus 4.5 on identical hardware. Extended Thinking now exposes the thinking budget parameter to all API customers, previously available to enterprise accounts only. Computer use, the screen control feature introduced in October 2024, reaches general availability with an 81% success rate on the OS World benchmark. GPT 5.5 ships with a 400,000 token context window, double GPT 5's 200,000, and a 128,000 token output cap. OpenAI prices it at $1.50 per million input tokens and $12 per million output tokens, roughly a tenfold discount versus Opus 4.7 on input and sixfold on output. GPT 5.5 achieves 78.1% on SWE-Bench Verified, 89.3% on GPQA Diamond, and 96.7% on AIME 2025. The router now exposes a manual reasoning just effort parameter with 4 levels: minimal, low, medium, and high. GPT 5.5 is live on the OpenAI API, Azure AI Foundry, and AWS Bedrock as of Wednesday morning. AWS regions at launch include US East 1, US West 2, and EU Central 1, with cross-region inference enabled by default. ChatGPT Plus and Pro subscribers receive access to GPT 5.5 this week, with enterprise rollout staged through December. The pricing gap, not the benchmark gap, defines the shift. Opus 4.7 beats GPT 5.5 on SWE-Bench Verified by 1.3. GPT 5.5 undercuts Opus 4.7 on input tokens by a factor of 10. Per OpenAI's launch blog, the explicit comparison is frontier coding performance at sub-haiku pricing. That line, drawn by OpenAI itself, is the framing every enterprise procurement team will use this quarter. On developer reactions, early signals from Hacker News and r local threads split. Simon Willison posted a side-by-side on his blog Wednesday, showing Opus 4.7 winning on long horizon refactor tasks where the 500,000 token context matters, and GPT 5.5 winning on single file generation where latency dominates. Cognition Labs, the Devon team, posted on X that they are routing 70% of agent traffic to GPT 5.5, effective immediately on cost grounds, while keeping Opus 4.7 for what they call deep trace tasks. Cursor's changelog Wednesday lists both as default options with GPT 5.5 as the new free tier model. The OpenAI AWS Bedrock integration is the structurally larger story. Bedrock has been Anthropic's distribution moat since 2023. Per AWS's own Researcher Invent 2024 numbers, Claude accounted for the majority of Bedrock model spend. Adding GPT 5.5 to the same console with the same IAM, the same VPC peering, and the same enterprise contract removes the procurement friction that protected that revenue. Dario Amodi addressed this directly in his Stratechery interview Tuesday, saying Anthropic's response is depth of integration, not exclusivity. Anthropic is leaning on its agent SDK, its MCP protocol adoption, and the computer use feature as the differentiation, since exclusivity on Bedrock is gone. Pricing pressure compounds. Google's Gemini 3 Pro, released 2 weeks ago, lists at $1.50 per million input tokens with a 1 million token context per the Vertex AI page. With GPT 5.5 now at $1.50, the frontier coding price floor is settling near $1 to $2 per million input. That floor reshapes enterprise AI deployment math. The question stops being which model is best and starts being which model's failure mode is cheapest to catch. 2 dates anchor the next cycle. OpenAI DevDay EU is scheduled for December 11th in London, per the official event page. That's the venue where the GPT 5.5 fine-tuning API and the rumored Agent Builder upgrade are expected to land. Anthropic's next planned communication is the year-end retrospective post Dario Amodei has published in each of the last 2 Decembers, with a Claude 4.5 haiku refresh rumored for the same window, per the Information's reporting last Friday. The open questions are 3. First, whether Anthropic reprices Opus 4.7 downward in response to GPT 5.5's input token gap. Anthropic has not commented, and the pricing page has not changed. Second, whether the OpenAI AWS Bedrock integration includes fine-tuning at general availability or stays inference only, which AWS declined to confirm at launch. Third, whether Google ships Gemini 3 Ultra before year end, as Demis Hassabis hinted on the Hard Fork podcast last week. The next dated signal is OpenAI DevDay EU, December 11th.